Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. I know it's been kind of a long time since I posted the video. I've been just kind of busy, doing my own thing. I'm starting up a blog. I'm also trying to start up a little kind of online seminar eventually. Trying to educate a lot of the young educators, EL educators. And so I've been busy with a lot of stuff. But anyway, so the reason why I'm making a video today is I don't know how many of CATESOL members we have out there watching this, but you might have gotten an email from the president of CATESOL basically saying that there is a problem, with the financial side of things. And basically, CATESOL has $100,000 in debt. And in the email, it was mentioned that in order to cover the cost of running the organization, they're basically cutting the monthly language journal, which we used to get, and also I think they laid off the manager or organization manager who I guess was part of CATESOL since it started. So I think that's actually kind of a big deal. I don't know if you guys know this, but in a nonprofit, especially with CATESOL, the organization's manager is the only person who was basically getting paid with an annual salary. So once the financial problem started surfacing, one of the first things they did was to cut the salary of this manager, and to basically went from full time to part time, and of course now it's that position is not there, and there's no one to take over. And I think I think there was a couple of other things that that was cut. So yeah, I don't know. It was kind of a surprising news for me because I knew that for the people that know me, or people that don't know me, I used to be really involved in CATESOL. I began as a chapter coordinator for the Inland Empire chapter, and once I was successful at that, I eventually moved on to serving on the board as an IP level chair coordinator. And I was involved in helping out with the conference and kind of coming up with a strategic vision as a nonprofit business. And so like I said, I knew that there was a problem, with the financial side of things. And so when this email came out today about cutting all the costs of running CATESOL, I think the first impression is that I wonder why it took so long, and I wish that the I wish that CATESOL had thought about this a little sooner to try to mitigate the damage. Um, but I don't know. I guess the upside of things, I think that $100,000 in debt, I actually don't think it's actually that much now that I'm thinking about it. So I think CATESOL has about, and I'm totally just guessing, but the last time I was serving on the board, which was about a year and a half ago, I think the total membership was hovering somewhere around, I don't know, I'll say like 5,000 maybe, or something like that. Or I don't know, maybe there's a lot more than that. Except I don't know how many of them are actually like paying members. But so let's say that you raise you know, so right now I think for a full member, the annual membership fee is about $60. And if you raise that price to, let's say, 80 or even $100 a month, which might be kind of expensive, but I mean, you multiply, let's say you increase it by $20, let's say per person, 20 multiplied by 5,000, that's already quite a bit. That's already $100,000, I think, if I'm doing the math right in my head. So, I mean, $100,000 in debt, I actually don't think it's that big of an issue. I think the problem is that CATESOL was just spending so much money on hosting conferences. And I think that every time CATESOL held a conference, they would basically go into debt. I actually don't know if CATESOL has ever made money hosting conferences. Um, so I think there still needs to be, some decision making and future planning on how CATESOL is going to try to stay relevant. Um, and this is kind of like a big picture talk, but I think this kind of traditional membership based, hosting physical conferences and things like that. Personally, I think it's kind of getting old. I think this business model, was fit for the 90s, maybe early 2000, but, with the coming of 5G technology and, a lot of these, the tech that's coming out that's making human interaction a lot more efficient and cheaper online, I think that CATESOL really needs to be thinking about, how we're going to prepare ourselves for the next generation of technology. So, hosting webinars and things like that, I think that's great, but I still think that's eventually going to either evolve into something bigger, something more sophisticated, using the new 5G technology, AI or whatever. But I think this kind of standard, hosting a webinar kind of style, I think is not really enough. So, but yeah, so that's kind of my thought on this issue. And another thing is that I think CATESOL also needs to be actively looking for or actively looking to recruit younger generations of EL teachers, because the truth is that those are the people, the young generations are the ones who are going to decide how our profession is going to become. And so if you don't include young voices or I guess I'm talking about the teachers that either just freshly graduated out of grad school, just starting to get into the started getting into the field. Those are the type of teachers that CATESOL needs to actively recruit into their board and also their nonprofit businesses decision making. Even if they might not have all the teaching experiences, I think that the young people, the young teachers, they'll know what they want, and they're the ones that who are going to have the vision for the future and how they want to see their EL profession to be like. So yeah, so I think there's definitely like a kind of generational gap. I think especially in ESL, I feel like that's a very common thing. So I hope that CATESOL will change the way they view their organization and really start thinking about their organization to be able to survive 20 years down the line, 50 years down the line, and still continue to be relevant and to be able to offer services that are still, important and, beneficial for the membership for CATESOL. So yeah, so those are some of the thoughts. Thanks for listening. If you have any, comments or questions about CATESOL, some cool new ideas that you want to try out, please comment below in the comments section. And yeah, I would love to, continue to have this discussion about the current situation of, CATESOL or ESL as a nonprofit organization, and whether these organizations are actually serving the needs of the professionals who are members. So yeah, thanks for listening. Yeah, hopefully I can post another video sometime soon. I'm also working on creating a blog, so I'll put the link to the blog below, so please go ahead and check that out. I don't have a lot yet. I'm just starting, but when you guys comment and it really helps me be motivated and be encouraged to continue posting. So yeah, that's it. Have a great rest of the day. See you guys next time.